Hello everybody, Maven here, and the reissued Corrective measure machine gun from the Vault of Glass raid comes with some absolutely cracked ad clear rolls, such as destabilizing rounds with killing tally, which is the god roll I'm using in today's video. But this thing has been collecting dust in my vault ever since it came out, and I would guess yours is as well. I don't often see people using this, and the reason behind this is because it chews through ammo like no other. And I just can never find a solid reason to justify using this when there are other more efficient options that suffice. Well, recently on the channel, I did a Void Titan Actium War Rig build based around having infinite ammo for the Choir of One. And then I did that same build again, but on Solar to have infinite ammo for the Unwavering Duty. And then I finally thought to myself, can't I just combine these two things together and have infinite ammo for the Corrective measure? I can't see why not. So today we're bringing back the Actium War Rig build again, painting the whole world purple again, but this time with the Corrective measure instead of the Choir of One. So it's essentially going to be the same exact build, just upgraded in my opinion. So I'm going to break it down again for those who missed it. So let's get to it. Hope you enjoy. Shout out to our sponsor, Advanced GG, the #1 gaming supplement in the world. Use code MAVEN at checkout for 10% off. Link down below. Thank you. Now we'll talk about how we're getting infinite ammo with our machine gun in a bit, but first of all, what's the difference between this version of the build and the Choir of One version? Well, the Choir of One version freed up the heavy slot, focusing entirely up on that energy slot, therefore it ran a primary in the kinetic slot so you can focus more on having special ammo. Since today's version is based around our heavy slot, we have all the leeway for running double specials, therefore we can still run the Choir of One as a backup option in the rare case that we do run out of heavy, which didn't happen to me a single time in the background gameplay, by the way, but you know, it's the thought that counts. And then we also get to run the Mint Retrograde in that kinetic slot, which is S tier DPS in the current sandbox. And I honestly think this is a strict upgrade to the previous version of the build because of the added versatility in our loadout. We have stronger ad clear because the machine gun mows through ads harder than the Choir, although the Choir still excels more at greater range, so we still have that option in the back there. And the previous version lacked a DPS unless you ran the opaque hourglass in the heavy slot, but now with the Mint Retrograde, we should have no dilemma for our DPS at all. So it's a well-balanced build that really kind of does it all. The other boxes we need to check for it to be considered a good build is, does it have good survival and does it do good damage? Well, the survival on this build is incredible for a couple reasons. First of all, destabilizing rounds on our machine gun essentially grants us infinite volatile rounds so long as we keep scoring kills. So there's volatile explosions happening almost constantly, and we can take advantage of this with our controlled demolition aspect, which allows our abilities to make things volatile when they hit things. But most importantly, whenever volatile explosion procs, we get health back. So with us being able to spam our machine gun with infinite volatile rounds non-stop, the amount of healing procs we're generating with controlled demolition is just absurd. Pair that along with Devour from Echo of Starvation, and basically every kill we get just full heals us. And if stuff gets a little too heated in the area, we just slam down a bastion barricade and get fed over shields while we chill behind it, and we should be able to survive through most things. So the survival on this build is very excellent so long as you don't get caught off guard, because while we have all these methods of healing, we have no methods of damage resist. So if a lot of damage is dealt to you quickly all at once, you can still die, so be wary of becoming overwhelmed. But yes, I would say we have like A+ to S- level of survival with this build. Now when it comes to damage, we are stacking a bunch of different things here. So Echo of Cessation is generating void breaches for us when we defeat volatile targets, which as you can tell is basically every target. And grabbing these breaches procs Elemental Overdrive, which is an artifact mod that gives us a 10% damage boost upon grabbing an elemental pickup. Then we get a 17% damage boost from having double void surges on our boots, then 30% from the killing tally perk on our machine gun. It gives 10% damage per stack, stacks up to 3 times, stacks are gained upon getting kills with the weapon, no timer, stacks go away upon stowing or reloading the weapon. But it's okay though, because we won't really have to reload the weapon that often thanks to the Actium War Rig, which is our exotic of choice with this build, which auto-reloads machine guns and auto rifles. So basically quintuples their mag size, more or less, so we can just shoot for what feels like forever without reloading. Additionally, the Actium War Rig got reworked in the Edge of Fate with a brand new perk that grants you stacks upon getting final blows with machine guns or auto rifles. Stacks up to 10 times. Each stack grants a plethora of stat bonuses to machine guns and auto rifles, but also a 1.6% damage buff. So at max stacks, that's 16% more damage. So with every buff we got going, our machine gun has a 73% damage buff with this setup. So yeah, the damage on this build is excellent, and this machine gun is shredding through everything like a hot knife through butter. Maybe not as much as the Unwavering Duty on the solar version, because that one also has Rampage and Radiant going. Link to that video down below if you wanted to check that out. But still, this is a lot of damage and nothing to scoff at. So yeah, jack of all trades, extreme damage, extreme ad clear, extreme survival, a DPS option. Like, what more could you want? Void Titan is underrated as heck right now. Anyway, let's get down to the nitty gritty, what we all waited for. How do we have infinite machine gun ammo with this build? Well, first of all, there's our mod setup. We got double void ammo gen on our chest, which grants plus 20 to the ammo generation stat on our void weapons per mod, and we have 2, so that brings our corrective measure up to 90 ammo generation, but we'll talk about how we're going to make that to 100 in a second. Next, we got double heavy finders on our helmet, which are not additive like the ammo generators, but rather they are multiplicative scalars exceeding beyond the bounds of 100. 1 copy will be a 1.33x scalar, and 2 copies become a 1.66x scalar towards our heavy ammo generation. Then we got 1 copy of void ammo scavenger on our boots, so our bricks grant a little more ammo, and our bricks are granting significantly more ammo from our super high weapon stat. Unfortunately, my Actium War Rig is just 2 points shy, but my weapon stat is sitting at 198. Which, as you can see at the top there, that gives me a 98% chance that my ammo bricks will be large. So essentially, they'll be granting like double the ammo. So you want to pump that weapon stat up as much as possible so you can almost guarantee that your ammo bricks will be big enough to be worth it. And the final thing contributing towards our ammo generation is the Actium War Rig itself. Now, we talked about its new perk granting stats and damage, but each of these 10 stacks for getting final blows also increases your ammo generation for your machine guns and auto rifles. Now, nobody knows how much ammo generation it grants. Not the API, not the data compendium. I wouldn't doubt that the only person who knows is the one who coded it at Bungie. But even if it granted a measly 1 ammo gen per stack, that would be all we need to pump our machine guns ammo gen from 90 to 100. And on top of that, we don't even know if the Actium is granting ammo generation stat or if it's another multiplicative scalar, such as our finders. Nobody knows. It could be way stronger than we think. But anyways, that's everything contributing to our ammo generation. It only takes a few kills with our heavy itself to spawn a brick of heavy. You wipe out a wave and there will more than likely be a brick or more just laying there for you to go pick up. Like I said, I didn't run out of ammo a single time in the gameplay, and if I got low, I just look around and there were multiple ammo bricks just waiting for me. And this playstyle is just so addicting and satisfying, just painting the whole world purple with those low, bassy ASMR volatile explosions. It's lovely. It's a very strong build and you can't go wrong with it for any type of content other than maybe raid boss encounters. And even then it ain't the worst. You still got your Min Retrograde and your Twilight Arsenal and Choir of 1 hip fire spam behind a rally barricade. So it ain't half bad. But before we end this one off, let's quickly break down the rest of the build. So here's my subclass. We just went over pretty much everything except undermining to make our nades cause weaken, as well as persistence to make our devour timer more forgiving, but persistence is replaceable if you want to run something else. And to quickly go over the rest of our mods here, we got to make orbs for our surges, which we can do with Void Siphon, Firepower, and Reaper. Then we got time dilation and charged up to make our surges just a little bit more generous on the timer. Then we got powerful attraction on the class item to scoop up nearby orbs when we place our barricade, and finally bolstering detonation and focusing strike on our gloves so our abilities can help recharge our barricade. As you can tell, we kind of care about our barricade here because it's a bastion barricade, so it's good for survival. Overshields are good. And for our stats with the build, if you run all gunner armor to hit 200 weapons, naturally you'll hit 100 grenade, since that's the secondary stat, which is honestly a pretty good thing for this build because with undermining, our grenades cause weaken. So the stats just kind of work themselves out, and you don't got to worry about it much as long as all of your armor is of the gunner archetype. And that about does it for the build. There's a reason I covered this build 3 times in the Edge of Fate. It's such a reliable and strong build, and it's weird because the Actium War Rig only grants LMGs and autos a 16% buff, while Peacekeepers grant SMGs a 100% buff, yet somehow the Actium has felt stronger in the Edge of Fate, and I don't know why. I do wish it gave a little bit of a bigger buff to compensate for that massive difference, but it still has been pretty strong for what it is, and I kind of love it. If you want another strong, reliable Titan build to add to your arsenal, especially for ad clear heavy activities, definitely give this one a shot. Trust. So as always, the dim loadout link to the build will be down below in the description, and also the pinned comment if you want to give it a try. And if you got any buddies who are Titan mains, I'd appreciate if you consider sharing this with them. Perhaps this is something they might want to try out as well. And that's going to do it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and drop a comment because those things really help out the algorithm. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing. Would love to have you here for more Edge of Fate content on the way leading up to Renegades. And I hope you had a great Halloween, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.